There's a lot of things I want to talk about today. One of the things that I'd like to first respond to is somebody was talking about their favorite directors. My favorite director is M. Night Shyamalan, and I just finished a long project that I had to have this 20-minute presentation in my class, my film class, about M. Night Shyamalan, because he was the director I chose. I love him a lot, and we share a lot of creative ideas. He likes top-down shots and other abstract shots, and he likes to have these culminating sort of epic moments in his films. Heroic moments is probably the more appropriate term, and I love that too. And The Village has some really good dialogue, and I love the dialogue in Lady in the Water. Lady in the Water, before this project, I would have said is my least favorite of his films, except for maybe like The Happening. The Happening was pretty terrible in the sense that the story, the meaning of everything sort of overwhelmed the acting and everything else about the film. But I really loved the dialogue in The Lady in the Water, and I would say that's my favorite of his films now. The last scene of the film, where Cleveland is saying goodbye to Story, and he's giving her the hug, and it's in the rain, and he says, "Thank you for saving my life." One of the most powerful lines in a film I've ever seen, in my opinion. And I'm just a humble guy wearing a Hawaiian shirt. Pappy, I laughed out loud when you said that you're always forgetting about what we're talking about in Pentavlog, and I have an idea to address this. However, it has the potential to make our videos a lot more complicated, so I'll probably never bring it up. Pappy, in your last video, you also said that you get distracted very easily. Well, I have 5 of my favorite distractions to tell you about, and hopefully they can become your distractions. The first is Homestarrunner.com. I discovered that years ago, and it is full of hilarious videos, flash animated stuff, which I really enjoy, and a link in the doobly-doo. The second is, the Hell of Falling Sand game. Okay, type in Hell of Falling Sand into Google, and you will get a bunch of links. I think it's the first one. It gives you a forum for all the different types of games that there are, and it's essentially like a physics sandbox where you have a 2D plane, and falling from the ceiling, shall we say, is different elements. You have sand, salt, oil, and water. You have different, like, I guess paint bucket kinds of things you can spread, like concrete around in this 2D world, or you can just use the like wall function that just creates a concrete wall, and like these. Anyway, there's wax and nitro, and so that blows up, and there's fire, and all these different things that you can create in the world to build these little. I just use them as chain reactions. Like I'll create like levels, and so the sand gets spread out across the water, and then you create a little dot of plant, and then the water runs into the plant, and the plant grows up the water. It's a lot of fun. You can waste a lot of time doing that, so I will put a link to that forum in the doobly-doo. Oh, yes, StarCraft. I spent a lot of time playing StarCraft with my friend Luke, and last night I kind of sort of convinced Roxanne to go buy StarCraft. You can get the battle chest for $20, and it's essentially StarCraft, the original, and the expansion, which is called Brood War. And it's an RTS, which is a real-time strategy game, so you have a playing field before you, and you build a base and support units for that base, you know, so you have a population count that you can increase, so you have more units to play on the battlefield, and you can go and attack other people, and you have to mine resources, and it's a lot of fun. It's a very well-balanced game, and I play all the time, so I will, my username is America's Firstborn, but that really won't help you find me, as the game's kind of old. It was created in 1998, and it's pretty much a national sport in Korea. That tells you about the Koreans, I guess. But what I'm getting at is that I would love to play with you. So my Skype username is America's Firstborn. If you want to add me, that's fine, and then we can coordinate a game in StarCraft, or just chat. What I'd first like you to do is send me a message on YouTube telling me you're going to add me on Skype. That way I'm just not like adding random people and, you know, end up with tons of spam. Do that first before we organize anything in StarCraft. But the more people playing StarCraft, the better the world is, to be perfectly honest. Formspring, kind of a shortened version of YouTube meshed with Twitter. Formspring, you can create questions, and you can post them anonymously or with your username to different people, and they'll respond to them, and I think they're really fun. But anyway, my Formspring is America's Firstborn, so if you want to check me out there, that is wonderful, and I encourage all of you to get Formsprings and tell me about them, and I'll go ask you questions. Finally, the best one, in my opinion, is something called the ToneMatrix, and I will link you to it in the bar below, but the music you've been hearing this whole time is stuff that I created on it very easily. Here's a clip of it, and as you can see, all you do is you click on these various little sections on the board in front of you. I know, I like to call these kinds of things sandboxes, but as you click on them, they just create tones, and there's kind of just a repeating pattern, and you can create loops, and it's just a lot of fun to waste a few minutes if you're ever bored. That is my distraction list for you. Other than that, I have this wee bit of footage that I really should have put in a long time ago. It's a little treat for Pappy and Helen. Here you go. Yeah. Two of my friends couldn't be here. Could you say Pappy and Helen? I'm sorry you couldn't be here.
Pappy and Alan?
Pappy and Helen?
Pappy and Helen, I'm sorry you couldn't be there, but thanks for being awesome. Also, that's my camcorder.
Oh, is it really? So I'm sorry, guys, that I didn't put that in earlier. Obviously, it's very cool that John Green would say those things to you. Initially, Pappy, when I gave him your book to sign, there was a little sticky note on it with what I wanted him to write, and he read Poppy, and he thought Poppy was like my grandmother.
Who is this for? Who are these for?
These are all mine right here.
To Poppy, Pappy.
Pappy. Okay. So you're officially that, I guess. Anyway, everybody, I think you're all awesome. Roxanne, I hope you get StarCraft, and I will see you tomorrow.